So yesterday I couldn't trade options because I trade options with Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim, and in a cash account. And so I didn't know that yesterday was Columbus Day, and I was all excited, marked all my levels for QQQ. And when it was time for me to trade, and I clicked to trade, and I got a message saying that my account is not settled. I was like, what? And when I called them, they said yesterday was Columbus Day. And so my account is only going to be settled today. So, man, I saw some great price actions in QQQ yesterday, and I was just sitting and watching it like, Lord, what? And I decided to buy some prop accounts, some evals, so I can trade NQ. And that's what I did. Initially I decided that for the whole month of October, I wasn't going to trade futures. I was just going to, because I'd taken a break from trading options. So I went back to it and I wanted to dedicate all of October to trading options and just developing some selling habit and consistency that I really wanted to. And it's been so far so good. And but yesterday I was like, whoa, some great price actions. So I bought some eval from Apex and I got them funded yesterday. And so then my next thing is like, okay, how am I going to trade? How am I going to separate when am I going to trade options and when am I going to trade futures? So since I got those accounts funded last night around midnight or before midnight even, oh my god, I realized that NQ was falling. In fact, the whole futures market was falling. NQ was falling, ES was falling, YM was falling. I was like, man. And so then thank god I had funded accounts, so I traded them. I traded the funded accounts and I made $900 from on each of them. $900. I didn't want to do more than that because Apex, because of the 30% consistency rule. So that's where I stopped. And yeah, and then I also got another eval funded last night. And so this morning I was kind of tired because I stayed up. I don't know. Those of you out there who trade both futures and options, how do you separate your time? What do you do? Do you trade futures from like 8 p.m. to midnight and then you go to sleep so that you can get up in the morning and trade options in the morning? Or how do you divide your attention? I'm not good at dividing my attention because guess what? Today I made a mistake that if it's not that the mistake was going towards the right direction, I would have been in so much trouble with my options trading. So you know how when you're trading futures, when you're shorting the market, you sell. When you're long in the market, you buy. Now, I was trading options this morning, right? I was trying to fill the gap. I was trading the gap for QQQ. So I first bought 5 puts. So it moved from 595 and it's getting to, as the gap is filling, it's getting to 592, 591. I thought I wanted to close because I always like to close the gap earlier because usually when there's a gap, when it hits the zone, it's going to bounce. And I didn't want that effect. So, and now I wanted to close it. Do you know what I did? I clicked, I wanted to close it. Do you know what I did? I hit sell. No, sorry, I didn't hit sell. I hit buy on option on put side because I'm trading on active trader. Maybe that's the point. I'm trading on active trader because I don't like to, when the market is moving and I want to close, for me to do all the whole thing, it gets too long for me. So I use active trader. Those who know active trader on Thinkorswim. So instead of me to hit sell on option, I hit buy because in my brain is thinking that the put side is too short. So then I don't really know, my whole brain just went mixed up, and all that mixed up is because I'm trading options and futures. My brain is still trying to separate them, and that's not the first time I've made a mistake, but this time it worked out in my favor. Last time it wasn't so funny. So this time I bought 5 more contracts unknowingly, 5 more put contracts now at very, very high cost. So by this time each contract was worth about $800 or $900, right? So I bought 5 of them. And so when I did that, I was about to leave. I thought I've closed my account. But then I saw movements. I was like, wait, what's going on? Let me check. Can you imagine if I didn't check? Can you imagine if I didn't see the movements? And then it got to, and so then I checked. I was like, oh my god, I'm still in the trade. Thank God it was working on for my favor. It was still going down because I wanted to close it earlier. So that's how I hurried up and closed 10 contracts. So the 5 contracts that I entered later made me $200. Can you imagine? The risk to reward does not make sense. To have spent that amount of money just to make 200. But I just thank God today that I worked out for my favor. I don't know if you trade options and futures. What do you do? How do you do? I need to really. My brain gets mixed up under pressure, especially because I trade active trader for options. I use active trader. I mean, because the other time, the other time for options, I wanted to buy a put 60 contracts. Hmm? And I click sell instead of to buy. And the market was falling. And I was like, wait, why is my stop loss the other way? And why is my take profit flipped? My brain did not catch up to it really fast. I lost so much money that day. I lost about $4,000 before I could realize what was happening to close the account, to close the trade. Why did I hit sell? Because futures, when you're selling, when you're shorting, you sell. I don't want to keep making this mistake. So, anyways, that was just my trading rant.